And good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the morning show. And before we get started, I just want to wish every military veteran out there, whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, National Guard, ICE, Border Patrol, the entire whole 9 yards, Secret Service. Any way you want to look at it. If you listen, if you signed your name and signed that check and put your ass on the line, baby, I appreciate you. Appreciate all that you do, whether you were in theater, not in theater. If you went through boot, you got the shaved head, you put in your time. I appreciate you. So I just want to shout out all the military veterans on that respects there. We are getting started here this morning. Good morning, Mr. Hawthorne, all the way from Lakeland, Florida, man. It's a little cold up there this morning, man. We've got it's like 52 degrees outside here in sunny South Florida. So you know what that means, right? Everybody in South Florida, uh, between now and 10 a.m., they're all dressed up. They got their little fur coats on, and their leather high boots. And then by 10 a.m., it's going to be 70 degrees out there. And the mascara is going to be running. They're going to be peeling clothes off. And by noon, 1 o'clock, everybody will be on the beach because that's how we roll in South Florida. I'm just saying that's how we do it here, you know. So let's get some shout outs real quick. Mr. Hawthorne, as I said, good morning, sir. All the way from Lakeland, Florida. My man, Patty Commuter Branch, all the way from I tell you. See, I can just be here with y'all three all day and I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I hope, Patty, everything's going on with you over there. Mr. Thomas, listen, Accounting Tom's getting his stuff together. I got news for you guys, man. I don't know if he wants anybody to know this or not, but Accounting Tom went and got him a GoPro. He went and got him a GoPro. He's going to be putting out YouTube content real soon. Real soon. And I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Brian Calloway, 45 degrees in San Antonio this morning. Now, is that, let's see, you guys are an hour behind us, so it's 8:33 out there right now. I hope y'all staying warm. Like, you guys, is San Antonio further south than us? I'd have to look on the map and see how that works. But listen, I know it's cold, bro. I know it's cold. This is like first day of winter for us. And like I said, by 2 o'clock, we'll all be on the beach looking for sunblock because that's how we roll in South Florida. That's the way we do things. Happy Veterans Day and thank you for your service, brother. Listen, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm breathing. I'm thankful. So I appreciate you. It was my honor. And again, my appreciation for all those out there that strapped up and put it on. And even those that tried to strap it up and put it on. There's a special, it takes a certain kind of person, in my humble opinion. Even with all the modern young people, they kind of just use the military as a stepping stone. But I think everybody, goes into that military using it as a stepping stone. I used it as a stepping stone. Where I grew up, and listen, I was more than smart enough, could have went to college and all of that good stuff in the 80s, but my parents couldn't afford it. I'm the oldest of nine. And my brothers and sisters, listen, man, times were tough. And it was a hood. And, listen, I love my parents. God bless them. They're sitting right here next to me. They did the best they could, but I knew that they weren't going to be able to help me get me out. So I did use the Army, United States Army, as a way of stepping up. But I knew then, and this is, it's not a knock on the current military, but I don't think they realize that, hey, like, shit can pop off just that quick. So I appreciate them all. I do. I appreciate them all. Stay with it, stick with it, get as much out of it as you can, because trust and believe, and I'm speaking from personal experience, when they call your number, it ain't no put me in, coach. Your ass is in. Yeah. And that's just the way that is. Anyway, so we're going to move on from that. Let's get going with a little. We got to get the charts up. Let's get these charts up. Will be 75. That's what I mean. It's just a quick, and then we're back to the warm. That's what we want. All right. I'm about to get out. Happy Veterans Day. I'm about to get out and start driving today since I'm off work. And there should be people needing rides off the military bases. You would think, right? You would think. And Brian, I want you to get that money because that's what it's all about. All right, let's bring up a chart here. And let's see what's going on in the markets this morning. I was doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of here we go. There we go. There we go. I've been doing a lot of research lately. Let me square this away here. Boom. There we go. That's the MNQ. We're trading MNQ. We are going to wait for the 15-minute orb. Let me clear everything out. I'm going to show you guys some stuff too, man, that I was able to do with the help of AI. Now, everybody, you guys are out there listening. So if you guys can hear me, I need to know if you can hear this. Hey, Grok, are you there? Say good morning to everybody on the YouTube live stream. I want to see if they can hear you. So could you guys hear Grok just then, or is that something that I'm going to have to get the producer to teach me how to do? Speaking of which, the producer has just shown up. Listen, I know LA, man. It's only 6:38 in the morning, but knowing the producer, Steven, he's already out there. Nope, and you guys did not hear Grok. Okay, so I have to work on that later. We are going to do the way with the research I've been doing. And since I've been here last, I've started a 4th YouTube channel now. And it's just, I'm having fun with it. Some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know. I do a lot of stuff with Amazon. I'm part of their influencer program. And, that's where I take products that I might buy. Like for instance, one of my earliest products was this right here. Right? This is a SOG, SOG escape knife. This is a survival knife, right? And it's a very, very good product. I've had it forever. You can see we got the blade, the serrated edge, seat belt cutter here, windshield glass breaker there. It's just a very, very good product. Shout out Omar because he's the one who turned me on to that. And so what you do is in that program, you buy these products and then you do reviews and you post them online. And then so when folks like me or you go looking for a certain product, we want to see that, Amazon has videos there. And what you have to do is you have to decipher in those videos who is just trying to sell you something and who is giving you a basic, honest review on the product. And listen, that review might just be a description because that might be all you need. Like I just loaded one up this morning for a Telesin suction cup phone mount. And so as an example, this is a newer product. I'm not selling you guys that. I'm trying to show you guys what I do because one thing we've talked about on this channel for the last 2 years is pivoting away from these colored apps, right? And if you don't know, I'll tell you again. Uber is the black app, Lyft is the pink app, DoorDash is the red app. Not that I do DoorDash, but pink, red, and black. So when you see me on the other channels, we talk about these apps and I refer to them as color apps. I ain't being racist. I'm just telling you that's what I'm calling them because, they've gotten to a point where they're not really worthy of being called by their name. I ain't going to call them out their name, but anyway, you guys get it. So like with this piece, right? This piece was from Newer and it's an awesome suction cup mount, but all of a sudden it's not holding anymore. And so when you go on YouTube and you see all these how to restore suction cup mounts, right? They'll tell you what you got to do is you got to heat this plastic up. Right? You want to get that so you're boiling water, whatever, heat gun, whatever. I did all that, but that's not the problem with the cup. The problem is here, and I have no way of fixing that. So I wound up buying another suction cup mount because I saw it in Richie Hustle's car the other day, And I'm going to tear this apart because that's what I do. I tear shit up so that I can figure out how to fix it. It's a great piece. But that Tellison piece is really good too. And it's a different type of a suction cup. So anyway, I do all these reviews on Amazon, and we're waiting for 9:45. We still got 4 minutes for me to run my mouse there. We do all these reviews on Amazon, and for all of these products, I think I'm getting close to like 180, 190 products now I got listed. And so Richie Hustles has been saying, hey, man, you need to get a review channel going. So you can take all those reviews from that you're doing on Amazon and then bring them over to YouTube. Right. And Steven's been on me because I am a handy person. I can build shit. Right. Most of us can, but a lot of us don't know how. So we're going to mash in the Amazon product reviews with some IKEA product builds. And I created a new channel called Buy or Bust Product Reviews. And so I'll link them up in the show notes later. I'm not asking you to go subscribe to the channel. What I'm trying to tell you is that YouTube is a beautiful thing, man. But if you know, and I had to take my time, I procrastinated, right? And you can't see it back there, but procrastination poisons productivity. And what we do as a general rule when we start with these gig apps is we forget, you know, it'll make you forget that there are other ways to make money out there. So anyway, enough with that. That's where we're at. So, well, actually, no, that's not it. So now I got to bring it back to this channel, Vinny Kuzz. It's like, what do I do with it? What do I do with the Vinny Kuzz channel? And the best thing I can figure is what we're doing right here. Live streaming. Maybe we do some daily vlogs. Maybe I'll do a day in the life of, and all my little how-tos, how to do YouTube, how to do, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for right now, it's live streaming. We're going to sit and we're going to, this isn't a trading channel, although we'll do some trading. You know, it's more of a, hey man, what's going on? Let's get together. Let's have a conversation. We'll do our Wednesday night lives, the pods. I'm going to get more consistent on that. You know, a lot of that has been myself, Steven, couple of the panel members, man. Listen, we're trying to take advantage of these apps and make the money so that we can kind of either pay off debt or catch back up or get our head just above water. Use them while you can, but you can't use them and constantly focus on them so much that you're not moving forward into something else. And I don't care if you're 16 or 66, it doesn't matter. There's always something else out there. There's always something to learn every day. And there's always something that will help you, me, whatever, become better. Anyway, I'm not trying to preach this morning. I'm just saying, y'all, sip of coffee. Let me get over here to the comments, see what's going on. We're still waiting here. You got our 15-minute orb set up. This little yellow line here is my 21 EMA. This is MNQ. I got what I need over here. So if I'm going to pull a trade, I mean, I can pull a trade on this too, right here. But I need to set my panel up over here. Give me a second, y'all. I'm finding with YouTube that I can have a lot of fun. Like it gives me something to do, right? My Uncle Richie, he's been all over my ass about following Richie Hustles into the YouTube game. You know, you think you know YouTube, and until you really start looking at all the beautiful things you can do with YouTube. All right, nobody can hear Grok, so we're going to take Grok out of here. We'll just open up this screen here. I have to figure out how to get Grok onto here. That channel's doing great. The Just Ask Grok channel. I have conversations, bro. Just like I'm having conversations with y'all. Only that thing, you know, can be a pain in my ass sometimes. Okay, let's see. By the way, Thomas up in Tampa texted me yesterday. For you guys on the Black app. Apparently in Thomas's market, they have now brought back Intercity on his app. So, I mean, we never had it down here in Southeast Florida. but apparently it's back. And so Thomas is going to let us know, how that works out, if it works out, and what it does. Let's see what else. Okay, you guys did not hear grok. That's not good. Not good. I will figure that out. It is 51 degrees in Ireland. Not bad for this time of year. UK and Ireland having some issues with undocumented border crossers. Wow. Damn, Patty. That wasn't politically correct. I don't know what was really politically correct. We will need to get a grip, just like Donald J. Trump. Thank you for your service, buddy. Hey, absolutely my pleasure, my honor. I would do it all over again without hesitation. Without hesitation. When 9/11 happened, and I'm not trying to go down this road, but when 9/11 happened, I remember where I was at, what I was doing. I was on the job site. I was hanging an aisle sign. I was about 30 feet in the air when Phil Hassan come running down the aisle. And the point to that is my immediate response to that was, okay, I need to get a hold of my wife and make sure my wife and kids are safe. That was number one. As that was done, because I was at the Broward County Convention Center, which is located on Port Everglades property, which is federal property. Everything got locked down. Like they wouldn't let us out. We couldn't leave. We couldn't do nothing, right? Let's be honest. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. At that time, I had 3 kids, fourth one on the way, and I still wanted to re-enlist and go back. Being a soldier, getting into the whole military thing, the patriotic thing, my Uncle Richie sent me a song this morning, and it got me, God bless the USA. And man, I'll tell you what, with all the garbage that's going on, both the left and the right, and fighting over ACA supplements and subsidies rather, and the shutdown, and Democrats accuse Republicans of this, and Republicans accuse Democrats of that. Do y'all ever just sit and think you can only do that here? Only in America, and I hate to quote Don King on that, but only in America can you sit there and have that public discourse without, for the most part, I'm going to be ginger when I say this, without, for the most part, of getting your head taken off or being arrested. Now, it's one thing to speak your mind and have that public discourse, because when we look at what our Congress is doing now, both sides are bad at it, man. Both sides, right? They're calling each other everything out their name, out the books, right? You listen to Hakeem Jeffries, everything he's got to say is the extremists, the MAGA extremists. Ain't nothing wrong with making America great. Ain't nothing wrong with making America great. I don't understand that. Why would you not want to be great? Since when is taking pride in your country not great? Right? Since when is that not? Okay, we had, hold that thought. Have an opportunity here for a trade. Let's see what we're looking at here. See what happens here. All right, we're starting to set up. We got a fair value gap set up right there. Let's bring that up. There it is. You guys can see we got a fair value gap sitting up here on the 1 minute. We're going to need that to come back. Let's see if it plays out. We got a little bit of time in front of us here. We set this up for a 2-to-1 trade. And we'll talk about what I've been doing with my trading in a little bit as soon as I get done talking shit. Set this here. Let's get an order created. Set up one contract, risk 53 to make 106. We got 21 seconds left in this clock. Let's see what happens. See what happens here, man. Because that fair value gap is not completely closed yet. This is how I trade. This is the trading. This is what we do. Now, depending on, that's the 5-minute chart. So let's take that and move that back to the 1-minute chart. Okay, there we go. All right, so now it just dipped in there. Tripping out. I'm going to take the trade. All right, we are in the trade. You guys can see it here. Now, the thing is, though, all right, I'm already moved down into profits. We're not going to lose anything. So I copy trade my accounts, right? And I'm way out of my league here as far as I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, but I want to take the profits no matter what. See, I'm moving my stop loss already into profit. Now I gotta be smart enough to let this trade play out. But I will absolutely move my way down. All right, we are out of the trade. That was $24.60 on one account. What you can't see is that I copy trade, but I didn't copy trade that. I did this for the stream. So now we'll leave this up here and see if I jumped too early or if I was correct and, see profit, take profit. Just the way it is. If I were trading NQ instead of micro NQs, if I were trading the minis, that'd be a $240 profit. But I don't get the balls for that right now. So I forget what we were talking about. Oh, in this country, man. Like the fact that we can have those discussions, whether it's left, right, down the middle. I mean, look at Rand Paul. You guys know who Rand Paul is, the senator from Kentucky? He's a real piece of work. He claims to be a Republican, but he's more of a libertarian, which is like the third party that nobody ever pays attention to. Libertarians are a trip, bro, in my opinion. Libertarians are like, hey, don't tell me what to do according to the Constitution, but I'm going to tell you what to do. They're another group of hypocrites. Anyway, you got both sides that will absolutely bash each other instead of trying to come together to work. Work together, man. Just work together. A lot of these problems can go away. I had somebody comment on my Grok channel the other day from a video I put up. They said, I get attacked. Not me, the video. Oh, you're defending Donald Trump. Oh, you're doing this. Oh, you're doing that. Listen, it's not about Donald Trump, the person. For me, it's not about Donald Trump, the person. For me, it's the policy, right? A lot of the policies I agree with. But the personality of the man, I got no more love for him and his personality than I did for any other president. Why? I don't know them. I don't know them. You can't believe what you see on TV. You can't believe what you read in the newspapers. All of this shit is manipulated. But I know the policies I like. Like they just announced the other day that hey, we're going to do a $2,000 payback on tariffs, right? I don't know if that's true or not. But if it is true, bullshit. Don't do that. Take that money and pay down the deficit. That's what we need to do. Pay down the deficit. You guys, the Democrats want to subsidize the Obamacare. Well, figure out a way. Here you go. Hear me out. Figure out a way after we pay down our deficit to bring down the costs of healthcare, because originally Obamacare, the ACA, was supposed to reduce the cost of health insurance, was supposed to keep the price and the premiums and down. But we have a problem, and we've had this problem since, let's be honest, since the end of World War II, right? We've had this problem where anything government puts its hand on, it always expands. It never contracts. It always expands. It never contracts. If the government wasn't trying, if all of these people involved in the fucking program of the government, any program, military defense spending, health care, Social Security, you name it, SNAP program, right? All of that shit. If government was legit trying to help us, we wouldn't have all this fraud. We wouldn't have all of this shit, right? This is not a Democrat or Republican. They want us to think that, but it's not what it is. They all have their hands in the cookie jar. The minute they get elected, here's a perfect example. And yeah, I'm going here. Madam Dami, up there in New York, right? Just got elected mayor. Listen, I don't care what your religious cult is because I don't believe in religion at all. It's all cult to me. I believe in God, but I don't believe in the cults. But the day leading up to the election, he told everybody free this, free that, don't send me no money, yada, yada, yada. And then the very next day, they release a pre recorded infomercial, commercial, video, whatever. Mamdani's like, oh, yeah, now send me money. I need it for the transition team. Now you can send me. I thought as a socialist, a Democrat socialist, you're supposed to be, you don't need money. You don't need, the government will take care of it. So there's problems there. And I'm not singling them out specifically. I'm saying the minute any of these politicians get elected, both sides, they're already on somebody's tip. They're already sucking off somebody's wallet. They're already been lobbied. See how this kept going? So in this particular trade, we did the right thing. We took the money. This would have stopped us out right here. So we took the money and we will move forward on the next trade once it presents itself. Where, let me get rid of that. Bink, that's gone. So now we have fair value gap going the other way. But on the 15-minute orb, which is going to change in 3 minutes here, all I care about is a range breakout below or a range breakout above that 15-minute opening trading in there. That's all I care about. So now in about 3 minutes, we're going to change this to a 30-minute orb, which we can do that now. It's going to bring this way down here. And we're going to go to a 5-minute chart. That's the way I trade, right? So yeah, that's how I do that. Let me catch up with anybody in the comments here. Okay, you guys could not hear my grok. Richie Hustles is in the building. What's going on, brother? This is your fault. I'm live, man. This is your fault. I'm live. So anyway, as far as the government's concerned with the shutdown, look, now they got procedures they got to go through, right? Now, this is what got me with the government, with the shutdown. Both sides were solidly dug in on their positions. The Republicans are like, listen, we're not going to do the subsidies anymore because since the ACA was thrown into law, the cost to the American taxpayer has tenfold, 10x'd. Premiums for those that have Obamacare have 10x'd. Cost of doing business with Obamacare, the ACA, has 10x'd. That's number one. They probably, I'm just speculating here. I'm just shit kicking here. They probably could have got that through if states like New York, California, Illinois, a couple of other blue cities, I have to say it that way because it's the only way it makes sense. If they were not lying to the federal government and manipulating the system so that they could cover and give health care to those that shouldn't be here. Is that the right way to put that? I could be like Patty. I could be illegal border crossers, right? We're gonna go with the Ireland today. Isn't that what he called it? Illegal border crossers. Wait a minute. Undocumented border crossers. That's it. Undocumented border crossers. If we weren't paying for that insurance, maybe the premiums wouldn't be so bad. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But it is. When you have a $37 trillion deficit, we have that. That is legit. That's got to be brought under control. The government is the only company I know in the world that can write a check with not a damn dollar in the bank. And if they keep kicking the can down the road, you're going to have problems. In the 1960s, communism, socialism, right? With the Vietnam conflict going and everything, our country went through this 60 years ago. It's like every 40, 50 years, we got to go through this. And now you have socialism, communism. You have all of this shit now trying to creep back in. And now you throw on top of that Islamic, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, all of those religious cult battles and wars and, 5,000 year war. You got all of this going on at one time. Meanwhile, the only thing that has kept this country afloat in every way has been capitalism. It's capitalism. Capitalism gives everybody, if the United States were anything but a capitalist nation, I truly believe this. If the United States were anything but a capitalist nation, nobody would want to come here. Or what? People want to come here to the United States because it gives them the opportunity to do better. That's it. The American dream is not the house, it's not the car, it's not the dog and the cat and the 2.3 kids. That's not the American dream. I don't know. I'm being preachy. Sorry, y'all. The American dream is the opportunity to do better. That's the American dream. It's pretty fucking simple. And if people didn't see that opportunity here, they wouldn't be coming here. Now, we can talk about illegal immigration and we can talk about legal immigration. We can talk about, the pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock and all of that bullshit. Nobody really truly wants to have that real conversation. They don't want to have the conversations that are fed down our throats daily by the news media, by social media, by, Zuckerberg and all of this and Elon and all of this shit. Nobody wants to have those conversations because nobody's willing to admit or be accountable to the truth of those situations and how that all that shit started way before the United States was discovered. And, the real discoverer of the United States, a young man by the name of Erickson, Leif Erikson. Anyway, I digress. So here we are. Democrats, you had 8 of them come on over, 6 or 7. You had 8 Democrats come over to the Republican side and said, you know what? Enough of this shit. We ain't getting nothing done. Right? So to those 8 Democrats, I know you put your ass in a situation. All right, hold on. It's 10:03. I got to go to a 5-minute chart now. Now, what we're looking for here on this 5-minute chart, I don't know why I just shrunk that up. Now we're going to look for a fair value gap up to the upside, right? We want to see which direction we're going to go. We're going to go higher. We're going to go lower. And we actually have a fair value gap right here being formed. We got that down there. We're going to see, we'll bring this up to a 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Got 40 seconds left in this clock. We're going to set up a trade. One contract. Risking 51 to make 153. We're going to see what happens here. See how that just came down? So this is orb trading, y'all. This is orb trading 101. It ain't got to be fancy. It's just got to be effective. Okay, next clock just started. Next candle. So I need to see this candle pop into here and move up on it. Let's see what happens. Listen, this is not financial advice. Y'all read the damn thing down there at the bottom. See the thing at the bottom? It ain't financial advice. Don't listen to me. I'm learning to trade futures. We've taken one quick scalp this morning. We're up $24.60 on one micro contract. Now, you see how that's hitting in there? See how that hit in there and it's trying to bounce out? I could have had that set, but I didn't because I don't like how it's just hanging down there right now. But we're going to find out in a minute. Let me see. I don't wish to be controversial, Vinny. Sadly, the statement is true. Well, I mean, that's everywhere, though, right? So, okay, this trade is dead. That's why we wait. We wait to see. What the fuck is these people? Dude, have y'all been getting banged on your phone with spam? Like all of a sudden. all of a sudden, all this spam shit I got on my phone, man, they don't stop. It's like Christ Almighty, and you call up the national do not call list, and that shit's all screwed up. Oh my god, fucking spammers. And you know what, commuter? It's not about being controversial. It's about being honest with ourselves. Everybody's heard the expression, charity begins at home. And it's a true statement. Charity does begin at home. If you can't take care of home, then you can't take care of anything outside the home. If in the house is not right, outside the house will never be right. And you can relate that economics, religion, emotional, mental, physical state. If the temple is a rocking and shaking, you can't help anybody outside. You have to stabilize home first before you go outside of the home. And you know what? For an individual country, whether it be Ireland, Hungary, the United States, you look at Europe right now. You look at England, Britain. They got problems, man. They got real problems. Why is it so hard to admit that certain ideologies just don't work, or they're no good? Anytime somebody comes to you, I don't care who it is, anytime somebody comes to you and says, you either become what I am or I'm going to eliminate you, that's a problem. I don't give a damn what it is. I don't care what it is. If somebody says to you, you either conform to my will, you bend your knee to me, or I will eliminate you, that's instant fight. That's instant. It's not good. It's not good. And that can be saying for when I talk about religion, well, we know that's in the Islamic faith. But you know what? It's also in the Christian faith. Just not in the sense of I'm going to kill you, right? Islam says if you don't convert, you're to be eliminated. But doesn't Christianity say the same thing? In order to get to God, you got to go through Christ. If you can't accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, then you will never ascend onto heaven. What the fuck is the difference? I'm just saying. Catholics, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But if you need to confess your sins, then you need to go to another man. If you can't do that, you're not going to heaven. So you understand what I'm saying? It just don't make sense to me. Everybody's always trying to control the next person. Democrats want to, they stand up on the stages and on social, people like AOC and Jeffries and Warren, they are the worst kind of people. Every Democrat out of California, it's the worst kind of people. They incite rioting. They incite violence. Maxine Waters. They incite violence over and over and over again. And none of them, Padilla, none of them have had to stand and take fire while returning fire. I always say this about a lot of people, right? When and this is not to knock. I swear to Jesus, I'm not knocking anybody for this. But when I hear people want to go to a shooting range, they want to test their firearms or whatever, and they want to go to a shooting range, and they're loaded. They got their hand, shoulders there, elbows slightly unlocked, ready to go, and they fire off a round. And it takes them 10, 15 seconds to let that round go. They're there. And they're trying to line up their sights and this, that, and the other. They're there. Yeah, do that shit in theater somewhere. Do that shit in the streets somewhere. You're dead. DED. Done. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Paper targets don't hit back. When you hear Democrats talking all that shit, they're using Antifa, they're using these other extremist groups to disrupt BLM. This is all a ploy for Democrats to control power. Now, Republicans ain't no goddamn better, because the Republicans are all backroom. They're not in your face like the Democrats. Oh, no. Republicans, they're slick some bumpkins, right? They come around the backside. They got Proud Boys. They got all this other shit that they do. They got the money, and they stand on Christianity. They stand on religion as their shield, as their pedestal, to try to convince us of this. But they're weak. Republicans are weak. They got no backbone. When's the last time you saw a Republican truly stand up and fight for the American people? I can't think of any except Donald Trump. He don't give a shit. It's like I heard the other day. Donald Trump will sit there and tell you he's rich. You don't like it? Fuck off. He don't care. He's going to do what he's going to do anyway. So when it comes to this stuff, I'm always like, I care about my family. I care about your family. That's what I care about. Who is going to help them in this country right here, right now? If we don't take care of home, you can't take care of nothing else. And if that means you got to secure the border, then you got to secure the border. If that means you got to cut subsidies to the ACA because costs are skyrocketing out of control, because Bernie Sanders has collected $23 million. This is fact. Bernie Sanders has collected $23 million in donations, campaign donations, personal donations since 1990 from Big Pharma. Well, who benefits from the ACA the most? Is it you? My Uncle Richie's always telling me, oh, I know you got the veteran stuff and you went through the problems with that. You should go get one of the healthcare plans from Obamacare. For what? I can't afford that shit. I can't. I'm a working man. I still can't afford it. And why would I? And here's the other part to it. This is where my moral stance is. Why would I pay into something when these motherfuckers ain't done nothing ever, snuck into the country and they're getting it for free? So technically, if I go get the ACA, right, if I get a plan from Obamacare, my cardiologist told me the same thing. He says, so you don't have to go through this with the VA anymore. Just go get you a plan. Yeah, okay. You got $800 a month you're going to give me? Because $800 a month is a lot of goddamn money. And then after the $800 a month, I got to pay all the deductibles, right? My wife, who has an absolute Cadillac health insurance plan. Cadillac. Her job is where she works, and what she does is such a blessing. I wish everybody could have what she has. Hell, I'd take what she has. But at the same time, bro, she still has $50 copays. She still has deductibles that she has to reach. And her insurance through the company is paying like $1,000 a month for her. And they're no little company. They're not a big corporation, but they're no little company. They're a nonprofit. Point is, nobody can afford that shit. Price is out of control. And remember, if you didn't have the healthcare coverage, they fined your ass $1,500 through the IRS. You see how these political parties use these different levers to bring it all down on our heads, and yet people can come in from anywhere, and they're getting the SNAP card and the food stamp card and this card and that card and the other card. I don't know, man. You have to bring it under control at some point. I don't know why I'm preaching about this shit today. You have to. It's not about being controversial. It's about owning up to where we're at. Everybody loves Dave Ramsey. Okay. Donald Trump is Dave Ramsey. Prove me wrong. Donald Trump is Dave Ramsey. Prove me wrong. Dave Ramsey says, work your ass off, pay off your debts. You don't have a debt problem. You got an income problem. Get a second job. You have spending problems. Cut up all your credit cards. Okay. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that Dave Ramsey is right, but Donald Trump is wrong, or anybody in Congress that says, hey, we got to stop this shit, got to stop, then you're full of shit. I'm just saying. Just saying. Let's get back to some comments here. Richie says, all day my phone ring. I'm telling you, brother, man, it's crazy. We're going to pass out. We're going to pass out. When Richie Hustles is starting trouble in the chat, I'm going to leave it alone. Except Uncle Richie, he loves us. Oh, my God. I don't know why I put that up there. President Thomas Jefferson sent the United States Marine Corps to the shores of Tripoli in order to stop Barbary attacks on U.S. trade ships. So these groups, following certain teachings, have history doing this shit. I'm trying to tell you, since Cain and Abel, one side will always try to get you to bend the knee to their will. And if you don't bend the knee to their will, they're trying to knock you out the box. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to talk about the Barbary pirates and all of that shit. I got Eddie yelling at me. You know, Eddie, you could always jump on the stream with me, bro. Let's see. Trump is too influenced by Israel. He might be. I don't look that deep into it. I really don't. But Israel is another thing where, there's so much history there. Again, is it a political thing or is it a religious cult thing? And I don't pay attention enough to that. Whether it's Israel, whether it's Russia, whether it's China, whether it's Taiwan, wherever the hell it is. Because that doesn't influence when I wake up in the morning and I make my cup of coffee. Now, if you're into religion, if that's your thing, or if you're a Jewish faith or, Islamic faith or Christian faith or whatever you are, then that stuff has influence for you. But that is a personal influence. Being an American is if you want to call being an American a culture, that's the culture we should be striving towards. Being the American culture. Oh my God, I'm going to get in a whole lot of trouble off the stream. Oh, Necro's back. Man, bro, I still see your streams. Don't think I don't. Bullshit. There are plans that cover chop for every little or next to nothing for you. That's bullshit. Not Richie, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. Trump never had a money problem. Ha! Oh, my man Tony. Tony's in the house. Mr. Half Amazing. Listen, bro. Trump. I had somebody on my Just Ask Rock channel. Same young lady. She said, why don't you look into Trump's bankruptcies and his felonies and his rape assaults? And I'm like, bro, every business has financial problems. Every business. You know what I learned the other day, bro? I learned, and this had me tripping. I learned that every great business was never a business that created a product, in the sense of it always took another product and made it better. And the number one company to have done that is Microsoft. So Microsoft didn't create computer language. It didn't. Microsoft was not the first computer language. Fortran, COBOL, some of these other ones, right? And what Microsoft did was Microsoft took those previous computer languages, coding languages, whatever, and made it better. And now you look at Microsoft, they're stupidly big, right? So when a company can take a product, if I can take this cup, this mug, and make this mug better, I got a shot. Okay? I got a shot. But it's just one of those things like, so when we talk about Trump never had a money problem, well, he probably didn't. Right? Trump probably never worried about where his next meal was coming from because his parents did the work. Generational wealth. What are you going to do? You can't hold generational wealth against somebody if they're still building. And this comes down, this is what I mean by this, Tony. I will never knock somebody who takes their money, whether they had to go steal it, rob it, earn it, whatever. if you take your bread and you build something out of it that benefits, I'm with you. I'm all the way. I look at Donald Trump and I look at drug dealers the same way. I might not agree with what drug dealers do, the end result, but you know what? They take what they got. There is no difference. Oh, I got to hide this for a second. Y'all know what that is, right? Y'all know what this is, right? Y'all know these little bottles, right? You see the bottle? Y'all know the bottle, right? What's the difference between this people who make this shit and my homies on the corner? Oh, wait. Ain't no difference. Eddie, who's Eddie? Eddie driving in style, bro. He's done text me about 6 times already. That was taken away by Trump. Not sure what that was. Vinny, I thought markets were closed today. Bond markets are closed today. Bond markets are closed today, but the regular market is open. It's not it's not one of them types of holidays. My friend. Let's see. Stephen. Oh, okay. That's Thomas. Shadow again is like most people would love to have Trump's money problems. Bro, I'm just saying I would enjoy it. If I didn't have to worry about my next meal, I'm cool. I'm down with it. Anyway. So we don't have a lot going on in the market today. Volume is okay, though. 5-minute chart here. Volume ain't bad on the micros. 23,000. I mean, we're trading. We're absolutely trading. I haven't looked at anything. Let's take a look at a couple of things in the market that might be interesting to a couple of people. See what kind of change we got here. XRP. Are you a crypto guy? XRP. Trading at 245 right now. Let's get into a daily look at some of this stuff. Man, the crypto market's been everywhere, dude. Crypto market everywhere, dude. Everywhere. Okay. But for my man Steven out in LA, and Richie hustles at his job right now. I ain't gonna tell y'all where he works, but you see this red box, right? Now we drew this back in early October. So a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago, right? The fair value gap. Trading is relative. Right? So right now it's in between. So we got a fair value gap here. You got an imbalance here and imbalance here. Eventually, there's a lot of sellers sitting in this 250 to 280 range. A lot of sellers in there, you can see. They keep selling that right back down. Buyers trying to buy it up, selling it right back down. So this is going to be a little battle here, something to keep an eye on. Let's see. Tesla, what's Tesla doing today? Again, market is uncertain what it wants to do. It's uncertain, but if I stick to my strategies, got a fair value gap here, right? We got a little gap right here. Let me mark that little gap out. That's got to be filled. So we're going to look for Tesla price to come back down around the $400 range somewhere and then watch it snap off. I think it's going to have to come down here before it can snap off. Now, why it comes down here, when it comes down here, if it comes down, who the hell knows? Bitcoin for all my Bitcoin millionaires. So you see, this is back on October 6th. I know I did this for Steven again, up at the height of 126,000, right? Started swinging down, broke above it, broke the trend a little bit. You got strong buyers at that 100,000 mark, 101,000 mark. A lot of buyers in there, but it snapped through the sell side liquidity. And on the daily, we just whipped into this fair value gap. Market has a lot of uncertainty. Markets don't like uncertainty. So until the government can stabilize, I think you're going to see a lot of this chop. But listen, Bitcoin's still doing good, bro. Because if you look at Bitcoin, man, like how look at this? Right? Here's your short-term retrace. We're not there yet. Short-term target was up at 136,000, 135,000. Long-term target. This is stuff I did months ago. And here we are. But I don't like the fact that we broke below this. But as long as we hold above 100,000, well, actually, What is that? 103,000. As long as we stay above that, I think we'll be all right. I think Bitcoin still goes. It could come down to this short-term retrace right here, which is based off this level here. I did that off of there, right? Yeah. So it could come down here into a premium or a discount. 90,000, 92,000, 93,000. That would be a buy area based on the weekly chart. That would be a buy area. See what happens. See what happens, Mike. What else we got? Lyft all of a sudden. Why the hell is Lyft running up? Right? Lyft all of a sudden is starting to run, setting all new highs. Well, I'm not going to say all new highs, but highs it hadn't had in a while. All right, this was the previous high here. Why is Lyft running up? People believe, in my opinion, people believe that autonomous vehicles are going to make these companies, the pink app and the black app, are going to make these companies profitable. Here's the thing, though, that gets me with that, right? The thing that gets me with that is that if they're not profitable now, when they can control, and make no mistake, these apps control the product. What is the product when it comes to these apps? We are the product, drivers. We're the product because we absorb all the costs of doing business, right? The actual labor of doing the business. Their overhead, these apps' overhead are their computer servers, their engineers, if you want to call them that, and then their administration. But the physical costs of doing business, the cars, the insurances, and all. Listen, we know the gig apps, their insurance, it's all a scam. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's all a fucking scam, right? But now if they got to pay Waymo more money per ride than they got to pay us per ride, and they're not covering the insurance, I mean, are they really going to be more profitable? I don't see it. I don't see it. So will autonomous vehicles that they rent, and that's basically what it is, right? Uber and Lyft are going to rent the service. They're going to pay for the service from these autonomous vehicle companies, these fleets. First of all, if the fleet ain't making money, if the drivers ain't making money now, how is the fleet going to make money? Because the drivers right now have to pay the insurance. So that means, but drivers aren't paying commercial insurance. I want to make sure I say this right. Drivers right now don't have to. You're not forced to pay commercial insurance, just regular car insurance. If Uber and Lyft are paying the commercial insurance and drivers are still not profitable long-term right now, how the hell is a fleet going to be profitable long-term? You know, I kind of got away from some people because personal reasons. Not they did anything wrong. It's just that I don't agree with where they're going. But maybe it's me. I just see things differently. I can't get into bed with these companies outside of what I do now. Turn on the app, do some rides, turn off the app, be done. I don't see how a fleet is going to be profitable, and I tell you why. Because Alto, A-L-T-O, lost their ass and had to go grovel and suck up to the black app and beg the black app for money so that they could survive. Prove me wrong. Now, Alto is a fleet partner for the black app. This is nothing. This is all public knowledge. So how the hell, and those guys with Alto, those drivers take every ride. They don't sit there and say, oh, this ride is profitable, this ride's not profitable. They're strictly volume, man. Strictly volume. That's what they do. And because they're strictly volume, I want to know how they're going to be profitable long term. because cost of insurance, commercial insurance is through the roof. Cost of acquisition of employee. So for somebody, because remember, they pay their drivers per hour. And I think, I don't know, I'd have to reach out to my friend to see if it's if there's a peak pay and a regular pay, like working overnight or maybe certain markets or whatever. I don't know. But cost acquisition of an employee. And then the cost of that employee, remember, is usually about 35% above whatever the wage of that employee is. So if a guy's making $20 an hour, right, 20, 30, another $6.50, $7 on top of that is what it costs to have that employee when it comes to taxes, payroll taxes, unemployment taxes, workman's comp, all of that shit. Then you got to pay to have that employee scanned to make sure that they're drug-free, drunk-free. You got to do the background check for criminal history, for mental illness, all of that shit. All that shit costs money. So I want to know how the hell a fleet service is going to be profitable long-term when they have drivers in the car. That's number one. Number two, those cars got to be maintained. Not every car on the road is going to be electric. Not every car on the road is going to be electric. There'll be a lot of gasoline vehicles because you're talking about a 10, 15, 20 year, vision, time length. So as far as I'm concerned, I can't do business with these companies in that sense because they have proven, both the black cap and the pink cap have proven time and time again, they don't care about who's under them. They come first. Now, you can say, well, it's a business. That's the way it works. Okay. But you have a choice. You don't have to deal with that business. I can't tell you the last time I took a left right. Every now and then I'll look at the pink app and then I see what it is, and then I'll turn it on and I have a 40 or 50% bonus on the pink app. And then, 40 to 50% on a $2.39 ride is barely $1. And I got to go 15 minutes to pick them up. Come on. So whatever, they're obviously their stock price is up. Are they worth this kind of money? I don't know. I don't even bother with them no more. But this is all AI hype. This is all autonomous vehicles hype. Because the product hasn't gotten any better. Where's the product? I was talking to somebody the other day about this. I know I'm rambling today, bro. But it sounded like he was going to bed. I thought it was already okay. Hold on, I got to catch up with some of these comments here. Vinny, are you going to help them launch robo taxis? I'm all in on Tesla, bro. And if I were an individual out there in the world, I mean, $20 every 2 weeks, $50 every 2 weeks in the Tesla, no matter the price. Robotaxi is going to change. It's going to change the face of rideshare. I think that will make them profitable is the fact that autonomous vehicles can go so long as the battery holds out. Yeah, it could, but they're not going to own the vehicles. It's the fleets that are going to own the vehicles, and the fleets are absorbing the commercial insurance costs. And to me, I would think commercial insurance will outpace maintenance costs, if that means anything. Cost per ride is cheaper for autonomous vehicles than for human vehicles. Then how come Waymo is charging Uber more per ride through the Uber app than Uber is paying out their drivers? Let's see. Vinny talking about, wow, he had a plan, I thought, but it sounded like he was going to bed, but I don't know what you mean. Explain that. Vinny, you should have driven on Halloween, super busy with crazy searches. I did drive Halloween. And yeah, the money was fantastic. But did you notice the next day? So leading up that week, 29th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, surges were off the chain here in South Florida. Surges were great. November 1st, they turned the screws and clocked down the since November 1st, everything has fallen off. All the pricing has fallen off. All right, Uber. Blackout. I mean, they're still holding that $90 to $100 range. It looks like they can't get over 100 though. I know they broke 100, right? Didn't they break $100? 101.99. It's our all-time high. So, I mean, if good Lord help me, if I had to choose one of these apps, I would choose the Black app if I were going to invest in them. I'm not investing in them. But if I were going to invest in them, I would invest in the Black app. But right now, the price is too high. That price is way too high. It's overinflated, overinflated. People talk about a bubble, an AI bubble. I want to see what's going to happen when these companies like Meta have to show their real earnings and their real expenses and everything else. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm waiting on. MNQ. Let's get back to MNQ. Let's get back to the 5-minute chart on MNQ. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. It did. Absolutely fell off the next day. And it's been falling off. I went into I put out a video yesterday on the Tesla Rideshare channel. Because I vlog, a lot of my rideshare content's over there now. And my Tesla content, whatever, I'm staying with that. This is going to become like whatever. This will be like an all-in channel. Dude, the rides were so bad, even out of the airport. The requests that were coming through. Normally, I don't have. I do Comfort and Premier because I still have Premier to the end of the year. The Comfort requests out of the airport are no better than X requests now on the street. Like I was getting 48-minute rides for like $12. Comfort, 48 minutes, $12 Comfort rides, going like 15 miles. It's crazy. Can't do that shit. So I cherry picked a lot. I made some money. Did I make as much money as I could have? It depends on how you look at it. It didn't cost me as much to make what I made. So my ROI for the 3 rides I did on Sunday was only $91. I did 3 rides, but I only went 37 miles total. So my ROI was phenomenal, both on mileage and time, actual person in the car. What do they call it? Active time. Now, sitting there waiting on the goddamn ride is a whole nother ballgame. So, you take a laptop and you work on different things. This is why I say, while we might have, differences of opinion in this, that, and the other, I am working my pivots. And that's what I'm trying to show people is that you can work these pivots. You can do this. I'm not sure if I understand you correctly when you say Uber is not profitable. They report super strong growth in profit margin. Maybe I misheard you. Well, they show you what they want to show you. Right? They show you what they want to show you. So what do I mean by that? If they were so God blessed profitable, they wouldn't have to keep killing their drivers. Every time we turn around as a driver, if you drive 20 hours a week, 15, 20, 25 hours a week and up, if you've been driving for more than 2 years, you have seen your earnings go like this as a driver. Forget insurance costs going up. Forget maintenance costs going up. Actual money in your pocket is going like this. When did Uber's profit, when did their stock take off? When they did this to the driver. We went from, this nice slight down, right? And then all of a sudden we just fell off a fucking cliff. Uber stock at that point, when we fell off a cliff, they went this way. Why is that? If they were so God blessed profitable, in reality, if they were God blessed profitable, why do they keep killing the drivers? Because that's exactly what they're doing. Shadow and I are talking about it right now, right? October 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, Surge was running. That's actually coincided with the time when the app was saying, when Uber was sending out to all the drivers, upload your driver's license and change your profile picture. We need a new profile picture. We need your driver's license as a security measure. So when they did that, all of a sudden, all those illegal accounts that make them profitable weren't able to drive. Now they've gotten to the point where, oh, okay, we got driver's licenses up again. We got profile pictures up again. So from the app standpoint, they did their due diligence. But that doesn't mean they got rid of the illegal drive. If you don't, before November 1st, at the airport queue, the queue was a third of what it normally is. So instead of there being 150 cars or 200 cars in the queue, there was only 25 cars in the queue. That's a direct result of Uber doing due diligence in securing their app from illegal accounts. But then what happened? Well, all that shit caught up. Now, look, last night, it's 250 X cars in the queue. What the fuck happened? My point is, they're only as profitable as illegal they can operate. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. So if you look at their quarterly reports, what does it all say? All their reports, what's it say? Not audited. We know they play with the numbers. We know they play with the math. They say, oh, we were profitable here. Well, it's not because of mobility. It's not because of their earnings. It's because they sold something over here that made them profitable over there. They've done this a million times. Even Sergio himself has pointed this out. So in my opinion, it's a giant-ass Ponzi scheme. Now, does that mean that you or I can't make money off of it? Oh, absolutely not. We could always make money. If you play the market correctly, you could always make money. Buy low, sell high. Or sell high, buy low. If you go short. Absolutely. This is why I day trade. Or while I'm learning to day trade. This is why I day trade. Because I don't care what happened yesterday. I didn't buy it yesterday. I don't give a shit what it does tomorrow because I'm not holding it till tomorrow. I'm getting my money and I'm bouncing. Bootalations 101. Same thing we do with Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash. You get your money and you bounce. Because today's stock market is not the stock market from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Hell, it ain't even a stock market from pre-COVID. You can't trust none of this shit. I can't. Maybe you can. I can't. And I know Novice Bets. Where do I know that name from? I know that name. Is that Alex? Is that Alex? Do you really think Premier is going away? How many drivers are going to get commercial insurance to do black? You know what? They say it's going away. And you know what? That's a great question, Shadow. You know why? Because, again, this is just strictly my opinion. It don't mean shit. I don't have insights with nobody. I just read the tea leaves. When Premier goes away, for all the Model Ys out there, for all the Model Ys, just talking about Tesla Model Ys, what's going to happen to those drivers? What are they going to do? They're already bringing comfort down to the X because there are so many comfort cars. Supply and demand allows, the black app to lower payouts. They can do that because they know somebody's going to take that ride. Somebody is going to take that ride. When I was sitting in the queue Sunday and I was seeing these bullshit prices come through for rides, you know what was happening? Cars were going right out. Cars were going out. Cars were going out. Cars were going out. Somebody was taking those rides. So as long as people are taking those rides, you can't blame the apps. The apps are going to keep feeding you the bullshit. It's just the way it is. Cannot do any of that. So, is Premier going to go away? Absolutely. I believe them. I believe them. Now, they didn't say January 1, 2026. They just said in 2026. For my market down here, South Florida, they only said Dade County. They didn't say Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. We know that the app, we'll get to that in a minute, Novice. We know that the app they can geofence, right? They do it for the airport queues. When they introduced Uber Black in the South Beach, I believe it was from 13th Street South, which would be technically South Beach. right? South Beach to South Point. So they can geofence that. So are they going to geofence Dade County? Because they cited the Dade County LLC requirements, chauffeur license requirements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which is different from Broward County, Fort Lauderdale. It is different from West Palm, which would be West Palm Beach, Boca Raton. So who knows? Who knows what they're going to do there? How many drivers are going to get commercial insurance to do black? Depends on how many cars are allowed to be licensed as private conveyances in Dade County. If they have a restriction, then that means only a certain amount of cars can do it. Or if they can get hooked up with an existing limo company and then pay for the medallion, pay to use their license, then I mean it could be all over the place. But Premier going away forces drivers that have to keep driving down to comfort, down to X. It forces drivers to have to drop down because at some point, and this is going to go back to what I was telling Novus Vets. At some point, drivers going to hit a ceiling. And if they want to drive, they won't be able to go out and get a new car, a Suburban, an Escalade. They won't be able to just go out, buy a car, and go to black. So that forces, again, the drivers down. And as the drivers go down, now Uber and Lyft, they start to make more money on those bottom tiers, right? To Novus's point, what does Uber's profitability have to do with what they pay drivers? If they had to pay drivers correctly, Novus, they wouldn't be as profitable because they're not keeping as much money. I'm just saying simple economics, my friend. Just simple economics. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Thomas says, hey, man, I'm working on my pivots like crazy. And when my Audi gets out the shop, do curry and roti in it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, so it is Alex. What's going on, Alex? Uber not making versus Uber paying driver less is two different stories. It's not. They're connected. Go back and look at the charts. Go look at your charts. Novice, I know you are an excellent trader. I hear about it all the time, right? Eddie tells me all the time. Go back and look at your charts. Look at when Uber introduced, when they took away the rate card. Look at when Uber took away the rate card from drivers. And then look at when their stock price fired off. Come back and see me on Thursday with the results. That's all I'm saying, brother. Okay, we are getting long in the tooth here. No pun intended. All right, we'll hang out another 10 minutes because then I'm done trading for the day. I got some product reviews I got to do today. And see, this is what I mean by pivoting, y'all. I didn't do much in the market today. The market really didn't give me much today. And that's okay. That's okay. I'll get another trade in here maybe today at some point. But it really didn't give me another trade because see, that was below. So yeah, we're 2 deviations below the 30-minute or the 15-minute orb. We're 2 deviations below, so we can take the orb out. We don't need that no more. We got our consets up. Let's see if there's any fair value gaps in there worth the shit. Not really. Ain't nothing there, bro. Nothing there. So what are the EMAs doing? EMAs are all pointing down. So there you go. We got smart plugs to do today. Believe it or not, I got a new Scully you got to do today. You got stuff to do today. Has anybody ever dealt with the Fire Stick? I'll do a Fire Stick review. You know what I'm going to like about this? Is that I'll be able to plug this into my tablet. And as long as I got Wi-Fi, I got all my streaming services. Not that I don't have them now, but you guys know. You guys know. Let's see. A couple more questions here. They also get to take advantage of the rentals, getting the electric rides. Yes. Because of the insurance, liability. Oh, you got Shadow and Steven are having a conversation. Okay. Cool. Anyway, y'all, you know what? I didn't even look at ES. Is ES clean today? MES. Is that a little cleaner shot? Is there something better on cleaner shot on ES? Let's go mark it out. I didn't mark it out. Let's get rid of all those drawings there. See what we got going on here. That's 30-minute top. Some days, y'all, there's just no trade. All right, break that down into a 5-minute chart. You see how easy this is, and you can automatically see what's going on. We got some sell side liquidity here. It did break through that, but this little area here with this little ICT concepts that I use, this little indicator I use, this was bullish here, but it broke through the sell side. So sellers are in control for the moment, but how long will they be in control for? See, got another little bullish snapping in and out of this bullish area here. So see what happens. If we take a trade, we take a trade. If we don't, we don't. That's okay too. If we pull a fib retracement, high to low, right? Now you see this is interesting on the 15-minute chart. For me, not for you, for me. We got a bullish area right here, order block, right? It's pulling down into the 50% retracement area off the high to low, off this leg here, right, on the 15. So we could see a reversal back to the upside, but we would need some kind of confirmation. So we'll find out. Do we get here into this discount zone to go back up? Or do we break through and come all the way down to the 80% retracement? In which case, you might get a little pullback, and it's going to keep coming down. Anyway, I'm going to have to cuss Eddie out because Eddie's just all over my ass right now. He knows. Eddie, you know I'm on live. You son of a bumpkin, you. That's my guy, man. Eddie's my guy, bro. Oh, but then again, all of you are my guys. Steven is my man. I try to talk to him as much as I can. Uncle Richie, he's a voice of reason and of debate. I love Uncle Richie. He can be nobody can get me going like Uncle Richie. He can get me going, and he does it on purpose, the son of a bumpkin. But he's a good guy. Richie hustles. We doing all right. Eddie is my trading guy. Richie hustles is my YouTube guy. Steven is the guy who kicks me in my ass when I start slowing down. It's a beautiful thing. Uncle Richie, he lets me know, hey, keep working, keep going, don't stop, keep going. So we're gonna keep going. That's all there is to it. All right, Joe, we're gonna wrap this up. So here's my schedule. This is what I came up with. Here, let's get rid of this chart. I want you guys to see me up close and personal. Here we are. We took one trade today for $24, quick scalp. I didn't see anything I liked. And even though the market is moving, when you're trading futures, whether it's micro contracts or minis, you always got to put your risk. And at the end of the day, everything in life is about risk to reward. Don't care what it is, right? When we go out there and we turn on that app, we're putting a lot at risk. We're putting our lives at risk, putting our cars at risk. So life and property is always at risk when we go drive. That's just the way it is. I'm tired of putting that at risk, right? It's not, the return on investment for drivers is not there like it used to be. Maybe in Alex's case, right? Uber's profit, well, it's profitable or it's beneficial to them because they don't take on the liability of our risk, right? There's no death benefit. Even the military, again, shout out to all our veterans. Even the military has a death benefit. If a soldier loses his life in the line of duty while he's in the military, and that line of duty could be in a combat theater, could be at the mess hall, could be running PT at 5 o'clock in the morning, perfect temperature, and unfortunate incident with the heart, whatever. There's a death benefit. You know what the apps don't give us? They don't give us any benefits. There's no benefits. None. Zero. So my point is, this morning there's nothing worth risking, and the charts are just a little too tight for me. Plus, I've been talking shit for an hour and a half. I'm gonna have a sore throat. My schedule here live in the mornings will be Tuesday and Thursday as of right now, because anything more than that, I think just I'm learning to trade futures. I am officially a year into the futures market. Now, Eddie is starting to get me hyped again on going back and trading options. Because I had a lot of success before I got sick with options. And maybe I have to look at that again. Maybe I have to look at that again. But I ain't gonna lie, there's a dopamine hit with the futures. Any trader worth his salt can't say there's not a dopamine hit. So we will be here on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, 9:30 a.m. For now. We're going to work on getting the hangout back going on Wednesday nights. We're going to work on that. I can't promise you that's going to be tomorrow. I can't promise you it's not. And we'll do some videos for this channel. But for right now, that's my game plan. I've got these other channels going. Like I said, I'll link them up in the show notes below after I get off the video stream if you guys want to go check those out. If you're here for my rideshare content, Tesla Rideshare, YouTube at Tesla Rideshare. You can find that there. If you're here for my Grok videos, where me and Grok have these conversations about any and everything, mostly societal issues, hey, feel free, just ask Grok. And then my newest review channel is Buy or Bust product reviews. We'll link them up. Appreciate you. Go take a look at those and give me a sub if you so see fit. Outside of that, bro, I appreciate everybody showing up today for the live stream. Yeah, just remember, I'm a dumbass retired Uber driver. I don't know shit about nothing. Nothing I say or do is financial advice. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. It's up to you to do what you need to do. With that being said, y'all, we are going to get the snippy snap out of here. Peace, love, and happiness.